Ocean's 7 is an extreme sporting challenge, swimming across 7 stretches of sea, including the Strait of Gibraltar, the Cook Strait in New Zealand, and the English Channel. Only 6 people have ever completed it, and this year one woman was hoping to become the first person to do it in a single year. It did not work out for Beth French, who had to call off the attempt in July, but she's in our Taunton studio now. Good morning.
Good morning.
How far into the challenge of the 7 did you get?
It was during the 5th swim that I decided to end it. I'm one of only 2 people who have ever completed 4 of these swims in a single year, and it was during that sort of the career-defining, world record-breaking 5th swim that I actually stopped.
It was just too much, was it? Where were you? Which of the crossings?
So it was in the Japanese stretch, and actually physically I'd never felt better, and the swims had been getting significantly easier as I went through the challenge, but it was for very different reasons that I ended up choosing to end my project.
Which were?
So I am a self-employed single mum who homeschools my son, who, when I started planning this project when he was 3, he was a quirky 3-year-old, but he's now 9, and he's on the autistic spectrum. So his needs and his requirements are very, very different to when I started planning this project. And 20 years ago, I put myself in a wheelchair with ME because I didn't know when or how to stop. And a combination of those two things, of my son being under strain through this project, and also sort of the signs that I was kind of starting to struggle emotionally, not being able to cope with his strain, meant that I had to make a pretty tough choice.
Yes, because I was going to ask you about that, the ill health that you'd had in the future, suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome. Give us an idea of even if you'd never had all of those problems, what the toll on your body and the toll on your mind when you undertake a challenge like this, and particularly your ambition to do it within a year.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that nobody had ever really tried to do before, doing all 7 in a year. But to put it in perspective, so the first swim that I had is a 21-mile crossing in the Pacific Ocean, so there's a lot of current, there's a chance of a lot of wildlife. In my second swim, I did come face-to-face with a 7-foot shark in the middle of the night, so you have to cope with a lot of emotional strain. You're trapped in your own body and your own mind. You're face down in the water for up to 24 hours at a time with no reprieve. You can't touch the bottom, you can't touch the side. It's fairly relentless. So yes, the toll on your body, where you can use up to 1,500 calories in an hour, let alone in a day, is incredible. And to recover from that again and again, that was kind of the fascination for me, having had 20, 30 years of my life being spent in recovery and finding out what the path to ultimate health would look like for me. That's kind of what drew me to it.
I'm struck by you coming face to face with a shark in that way. What did you do?
Yes.
Was it a question of getting out to your support boat as soon as you could?
Well, a lot of people might have done. At the time, I couldn't. It was pitch black, and the boat was just too far away. And I knew that if I started to swim or splash or panic, that would excite the shark much more. But having done a lot of research on the different types of sharks I might face, on their behaviours, on the general behaviours of sharks aren't out to get us. They really aren't. So priority 1 is to stay calm. And that's what I had to do, and just stay very, very calm, as relaxed as I could, keep it within my line of sight. It was very, very close to me. It ended up being about 2 meters away from me. It was just very, very curious. So to stay relaxed and calm took every bit of my strength to do. And when the support boat noticed I was upright rather than moving forwards, they sort of circled around and the shark sort of slunk away. So it sounds terrifying, and yes, it was in one sense, but actually from the behaviour of the shark, I knew that it was calm, relaxed and just curious.
So sadly it came to an end, Beth, but there is a record, there's a film that's going to be made of your experiences, showing what you were up against.
Absolutely. I'm really, really privileged to be a part of it. It's by BAFTA and Emmy nominated directors, which is an incredible opportunity. The film's going to be called Ocean 7, the film, and we've almost completed all of the filming. We've just got a few sort of little key sequences to do, one of which is my favourite, which is underwater filming, so I get to play in the water a lot. They're crowdfunding just to sort of help find that, and also to open it up to the community, because it's not just an adventure film, it is very much a human story, really.
So yes,
that's coming out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.